My name is Lisa Dewees. I've been a lifelong Catholic, baptized Catholic, came from a family of 6 girls, strong Catholic family. Ended up marrying Tim, who was a Catholic, and then we had 2 kids, Kylie and Chandler. And it's just funny because it's like, okay, you know, when you're baptized, you know you always went to church. You know that we'd always say grace. I mean, like certain things in life were important, but I didn't realize until I was older what it really meant. And I realized the journey that you go down, you don't get do-overs in life. And the older I've gotten, the more I absolutely love it because it's the consistency. You can go anywhere in the world and you will get the same message. You know, Catholic faith starts at the altar. And the thing that people have to realize too, you know, once you realize it's at the altar, and our world is so crazy and chaotic as it is, as we all know, we're rushing here, rushing there. I mean, I'm the first one to admit, you know, a lot of times what comes out of my mouth is busy, busy, busy. I had a friend of mine that said to me, Lisa, you're only as busy as you won't make yourself. And I thought, you know, she's exactly right. But I realized coming into church and knowing that it's consistent, the message, you know, up at the altar, I like that, you know? And the older I've gotten, I have realized certain things about the Catholic faith, like the liturgical calendar, you know, the colors on the altar, what that means. And, you know, one thing about it, the older I got, you know, friends come and go sometimes. Sometimes family comes and goes. But if you don't have your faith, you really are missing out. Coming from a family of 6 girls, my sister Christy, my parents got a phone call late in the night. It was like 1 o'clock in the morning and said, your daughter Kylie, or your daughter Christy has been in an accident. And we need you to come here. We're in Dallas, Texas. They went down for a youth rally. And they rolled down an embankment, the car did. There was 2 in the front seat, 3 in the back, and she was in the center back. And what happened is they airlifted 4 helicopters. And all of a sudden, they said, leave her in the car because they didn't feel a pulse. And she was in the center back. So all of a sudden, they said, leave her in the car. And this huge guy appeared, comes over to the car, pulls her out. As he pulled her out, the whole car exploded. Tapped her foot, laid her down.
Why did he tap her foot?
Because it was on fire, because the car exploded. And everybody's like, where'd that guy come from? I mean, like, that was crazy. But, you know, this guy, we're all working on these people, and we thought she was gone already.
And he pulled her out just in time before this car literally exploded. That is amazing.
I mean, it still brings tears to my eyes because I think, you know, during that time, Sean, you know, and all of us got that phone call, the only thing when you go through a hard time in life that you truly can rely on is your faith to carry you through it. We prayed, and at the time, my husband and I, Tim, were the only ones that could physically go down there and leave our jobs and really not know when we were going to be back to be there for support of my parents. But the crazy thing is how many people, like in our lives, just showed up at a hospital in Dallas, Texas, Plano. And when you're down there and you hear all the testimonials, like this gentleman, and you know, they tried to find who this guy was, and then the TV show Vanish came, and they wanted to do, you know, a series on it. It's crazy because there was only one answer. That was a guardian angel. The odds of getting pulled out in the leap of a second of an explosion, I mean, that's crazy. So she had to learn how to talk. She talked like Rain Man. And it was just a powerful thing because that was the first time in my life that I saw my faith, really. She has come, she's ran 2 Ironmen. If anybody know about Ironmen, I mean, those are extremely hard things to do. I could never personally do it. I'm not in that good a shape. But yeah, she has 2 kids, and she teaches, and she has really just turned her life around. The first night that we were there, which was so like crazy and powerful, is that, you know how hospitals are. It's just pure silence. It's quiet. This is at like 2 o'clock in the morning. We left, and we walk out through the double doors, and the double doors open up, and all of a sudden a pink balloon blew in, and it said, "It's a girl." It was a pink with white lettering. And I almost brought one because I was like, it was just such a powerful moment too, is that we had been trying to get pregnant for 2 years. Wow, is God trying to talk to us? Like, it was crazy. So that night we left, slept for a couple hours, came back. We had gone to the grocery store, because the one thing that people said when you have an accident like that, you kind of gotta regenerate the brain into thinking, because she talked like Rain Man. So we got like graham crackers and milk and stuff like that we grew up on. And actually, I'd gotten a pregnancy test. And she was in intensive care for a month. But that next day, I got the test, and I went into the bathroom, and the whole entire waiting room was full of people. And I said, "I'm pregnant." And I said, "It's a girl." And they're like, "What?" And at that point, I was explaining that there was a pink balloon within hours of the time that I'm like, I know I'm having a girl. And I had showers, and everybody's like, "Oh, what are you gonna have? You know, did you find out?" I'm like, "It's a girl."
That's pretty neat. So now that was, how long ago was all that?
Well, 25 years ago.
Would you say you've grown in your faith since that time?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think the reason why I say absolutely is because you don't have a testimonial unless you have a test. And that's the one thing about life that I have learned, is that, you know, sometimes friends come and go, family comes and goes, you know, and it has brought me closer to my faith because of the journeys that we've gone on. And I remember I was talking to a girlfriend the other day, and she was going through some really hard times in life. And I said, "You know, the one thing that I'm going to tell you is, when I did go down different journeys in life, that is when I call them blessings." She goes, "Really?" She goes, "Lisa, really?" And I go, "Yeah." She goes, "So when this and this and this and this happened, like, you don't want to know, you don't want to relive those things, and it's not my stories to tell, but I go, yeah, they were blessings. There's no other way to talk about it, because I got through the difficult times in life, and they have come out in blessings. And if it wasn't for my faith, I look back on it, I don't think I could have made it through. There's always going to be challenges. People go through different hard times in life. And you know, it was funny because I was telling Tim, I said to him, I said, "Hey, I just don't understand the Bible." Like, the hard thing is that, you know, I grew up with a learning disability. I'm very ADD, anybody who knows me. And I just didn't get it. And so it was really difficult, because I said to Tim, like, for instance, and I said, the Bible, I said, I don't understand it. And I said, I try to take parts and pieces and try to read into it, because I think that would make my faith stronger. And he said, "Well, what do you mean?" He goes, "What do you mean by you're not understanding?" So I have to put my readers on, because I am going to be 50 this year. So I'm getting older. But what happened is the Bible opened up like this. And it says, and it opened up to this page. It says to seek one thing. If you could ask for only one thing, what would it be? In Psalms 27. David said there was only one thing that he sought after: to dwell in God's presence more than anything else. David wanted to know God and to see God as he really is, and to be with him. Truly to know God is the highest calling we have. And I'm like, whoa. But what I thought was more powerful is, you know, looking at scripture and seeing how, you know, doing some daily masses, I get to know the scripture reading better. And what I have realized, you know, Martha and Mary. And like I told Tim, I wish I could be like you know, like Mary, and understanding stuff. And I've always said that to him. Oh, I'm definitely like Martha. Martha, we are crazy busy. We always want to take care of things. And Mary realizes life. Mary understands life. And she puts the presents right in front of Jesus. Like, she gets it. She sits right down. Yeah. And so this goes on to say, unfortunately, we can get so distracted with the busy details of our lives. Hello, that's completely me, Sean. That we neglect to see the most important thing. Spending time with God, Luke 10:38, illustrates this point well, as it relates to the story of busy Martha. When Jesus visited her home, she became preoccupied with serving. But her sister Mary stopped all works and sat at the feet of Jesus and told Martha that the only one thing was really important. She had chosen it. Mary had decided she was not going to miss the opportunity to visit with the Master. I suppose Martha intended to work Jesus into her schedule somewhere, but Mary was willing to stop what she was doing and work her schedule around him. And then it goes on to say, how foolish are we to spend our lives seeking those things that cannot satisfy us, why we ignore God, the one thing, who will give us great joy, peace, satisfaction, and contentment. This world is fulfilled with empty people who are trying to satisfy their voids in their life by the promotion at work, a human relationship, a vacation, or some other thing. Their efforts to fulfill those things never work. It is sad that so many people waste their entire lives never realizing it. They never know the joy of seeking the one thing they really need. Each one of us has a God-shaped hole inside, and nothing can fix it except for God Himself. No matter what else we try to fill it with, we will remain empty and frustrated. I think the key things that I've realized in life, we are born with a reason. There is a purpose that God gave us life. What is it that He wants us to do with it? This world is crazy, crazy busy. There's a lot that goes on in it. What is the purpose of why He created you? And to make the best version of yourself. You know, it's very hard because, especially with the Angel of Hope out at Xavier, you see little ones that passed away. You've seen people too young. I've had friends pass away. And you really realize what's important in life.
Well, I want to thank you, first of all, for sharing this with me. And I know you have a lot of other stories that you could certainly share. So maybe you will consider coming back and giving us a few more stories of your faith journey in the future with a couple lessons intertwined with those as well. What do you think?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Well,
Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Alrighty, thanks.
God bless you.